Okay, next experiment in our control system lab is about lead lag network study unit. The aim of the experiment is about to study the lead lag compensation network circuits. The front panel of lead lag network is as shown in the figure. It is consisting of a sine wave signal where we are going to adjusting a frequency, the amplitude adjustment, and about a reference in for the phase shift in, and about output we are going to get taking. And here we are going to using of RLC circuit. So you have to connect with the different resistors. Here it is taken as R1, R2, and about the capacitor C1, C2, and about a voltage, what it is going to be displaying that you will be observing here. This is the input voltage, and this is the main switch. Now we'll go with which are the it is having. First one is of a mains, where mains is having on-off switches to the in unit with the built-in indicators. All the facilities are there. It is like a small kit where you are going to operating your experiment. The frequency of this kit is about by operating with the frequency of 25 hertz to 2500 hertz, and the amplitude changing by using of a potentiometer we're going for, and with the sine wave of 0 to 4 volts of maximum we can change. The output is of a sine wave signal output we'll be getting, and a phase signal, a frequency meter, where you'll be getting an LCD display to indicate the phase angle difference or as the frequency of the signal. And next terminal, it is consisting of a reference in, where the terminal to connect the reference input to measure the phase angle difference and also about the frequency, and this is connected to the networks as an input. Then about it, we will be going for a phase shift in, a terminal to connect to the phase shift input to measure a phase angle difference, and this should be connected to the network's output, reference in at the input, phase shift at the output connection. Then network is consisting of a resistors of both, it's having maximum of 10K, and about a capacitor, C1 is having 0.1 microfarad and C2 is it's having 0.22 microfarad. And peak voltage of input output, it's to measure the peak detector of the output voltage or else the input voltage. These are all the what it is a control panel it is consisting of. Next, when you're going to go with the experiment of this, there are 4 main networks we'll be going for. The first one is of which is units are it's consisting of. The first one is of sine wave source. Second is of digital phase angle or else a frequency meter. And third one is about digital voltmeter. And about a last one is of a network. Network is consisting of your resistors and capacitors. If I go with the sine wave, what might be the frequency and what might be the voltage? If I'm going to take a source, this part of generator generates the sine wave signal, and the frequency of sine wave can be varied from 50 hertz to 2200 hertz, 200 hertz. Approximately, we can go with by using of your potentiometer. Then about the amplitude of the output is going to be varied by using of the potentiometer. Then this is what the kit is. It depends on the microcontroller based. Then this will display a phase angle difference or frequency of the sine wave signal. Then the display resolution is of from 1 degree at 1 hertz frequency, and the recommended input range is maximum 2.5 volts to 15 volts we can go with. And the phase meter has 2 inputs, that is about a reference input and also about the phase shift input. Then the reference input is normally the input fed to the network under the study, and the phase shift input is connected to the network output. This is what phase shift input, reference in and phase, it's given for the further connection is be done from phase to the this circuit. This is given here. Then the phase angle or frequency meter can also be used independently. This is what the one more thing. Next, about our digital phase angle or frequency meter. This is this will be displaying here only. Then the digital voltmeter. This meter gives the peak voltage of the signal connected to the it. Then this enables the measuring of a voltage, that is V peak of a network, of an input and also of the output we can read from this. Then normally a multimeter will not be giving a correct values for the voltage measurements. For that reason, AC RMS voltage at a high frequency will be preferring. Then we have to use a true RMS voltmeter to measure the correct value. To avoid a true RMS meter, we providing a peak detector to measure a V peak, thereby calculating the gain. This is about a digital voltmeter, how it is going to be used. Then the network is consisting of a RC network. In this case, then depending on the lead lag and also about the lead lag composition networks, there are resistors and also capacitors taken as R1, R2 and C1, C2. This is all about what it is consisting of in our panel. Next, why we are going to be using of these lead lag networks? Is there any necessary in which way we are going to be using that we will learn now? Every control system is going to be designed based on a specific application where it is necessary that the stability and also about the reliability should be considered when I'm going to designing of our control system. With that, it has to meet certain performance specifications. Then a setting a gain. The main importance of taking the lead lag network is of the gain what will be adjusting. It should be in a proper way. Setting the gain is the first step in adjusting the system of the satisfactory performance. In many practical cases, the adjustment of the gain alone may not provide a sufficient alteration of the system behavior to meet a given performance. Then, in general cases, increasing the gain will improve the steady state behavior, but what happens, it can go with the steady state, but the stability will be going on decreasing. That's what it's major one. It is necessary to redesign a system in order to alter a overall behavior so that a system will behave as required or desired output we want from the device. An additional device inserted in the system for such purpose we called as a compensator. Then this device compensates for deficient what it is it's not there, how much the again we have to provide in a proper fashion. That's about performance of the original system. The compensation is going to be done by using our lead lag compensation. If the compensator, here is taken as GC of S, is placed in a series with a unalterable transfer function, that is G of S, then that compensation we call as a series compensation. If it is the compensator is placed in a feedback path, then we call that as a feedback compensation. In general, we'll be preferring for a series compensation. When we go with the feedback, it is somewhat complex when we go across with the series compensation. It will be easy, but when we go with the higher designing way, we're preferring for feedback compensation only, even though it is of a complex in a design part. That's what here it is taken. Then some more examples. Numerous physical devices are used as a compensators. Which are of those? Among many compensators, the widely employed series compensators are called as our lead compensator, lag compensator, and lead lag compensators. This system is designed to make a detailed study of these type of the compensators. They are usually of electrical and mechanical and pneumatic and hydraulic, and these all consist of a RC networks only and about the amplifiers. Study a compensating network in the form of electrical RC networks we are going to be proposing. Then a proposed study of the compensators are of the following. The first one is of simple phase lead and phase lag networks, then about a lead lag compensating networks that are going to be used in our control system. Next, what do you mean by a lead compensator and what do you mean by a lag compensator? If a sinusoidal input signal is applied to the lead compensator, what is going to be happening? The steady state output will have a phase lead with respect to the input. The phase is going to be leading with respect to the input. Then that compensator we called as a lead compensator. A small example for lead compensator is of a high pass filter. In the high pass filter, we'll be using of a lead compensators. Then lead compensator, it's going to be speed up a transient response and also increases the margin of the stability of the system. Then it also helps to increase the system error constant through a limited extent. Then a high pass filter is often referred as a phase lead controller, and it is also called as a positive phase is introduced to the system over a some frequency range. These ideas are related to filtering at the and phase shift are useful in designing of a system carried out in frequency domain. The transfer function of such compensator is given by G of S is going to be equals to S plus ZC. It's divided by Z, S plus PC. That is nothing but it's going to be S plus 1 divided by gamma divided by 1 plus 1 divided by alpha into gamma. This gamma we called as a dead time or as a delay time. What will in a transient response we come across with the different time, settling time, delay times. In the gamma will be representing our delay time in this case. Then the S plane represents representation of a lead compensator. It shows a 0 at S is going to be equals to minus 1 divided by gamma, and pole at it will be giving S is equals to minus 1 divided by alpha into gamma, with a 0 closer to the origin of that pole. This is how, this is our lead network where your resistors and capacitors are connected. And this is how a graph you will be getting gain in dB and the phase how you will be getting output. Therefore, our gamma is going to be equals to R1 into C, and gamma is alpha is going to be equals to R2 divided by R1 plus R2, which is less than 1. The sinusoidal transfer function of the lead capacitor is going to be given as GC of J omega is going to be equals to 1 plus J omega gamma divided by 1 plus J alpha omega gamma, where alpha is less than 1. Since we have a alpha is less than 1, the network output leads to the sinusoidal input under a steady state, and so it is called as a lead compensator. And in the lead compensator, the gain is going on increasing with respect to the frequency. This point you have to remember. Then from the equation 2, what it is taken for the compensation, it evident that the compensator provides a phase lead between the output and also the input, and the frequency is given by pi of omega is going to be equals to tan inverse of omega gamma minus tan inverse of alpha omega gamma. This is what the phase what we will be getting in terms of a frequency. This is about a lead compensator. In the same way, we will go with a lag compensator. If a sinusoidal input signal is applied to the lag compensator, the steady state output will have a phase lag with respect to the input. Then that the compensator we call as a lag compensator. The example is going to be a low pass filter design. A lag compensator improves the steady state behavior of the system, where nearly preserving a transient response where we will be getting how much it's required. We can design of that. Then a low pass filter is often referred to as a phase lag controller, and it is also called as a sign negative phase. The previous use of a positive phase, here it is going to be a negative phase, is introduced to the system over a some frequency range. The phase lag controller brings a more attenuation to the system, and the stability margin will be improved, but suffering a lesser bandwidth. That's what the disadvantage of our lag compensators. Then the transfer function is going to be for lag compensator, G of S is going to be S plus JC divided by S plus PC is going to be equals to S plus 1 by gamma divided by S plus 1 divided by beta of gamma, where beta is going to be equals to ZT divided by PC, which is greater than 1, and gamma is greater than 0. The S plane of the lag compensator shows at 0 when it is going to be 0, when S is going to be equals to minus 1 divided by gamma, and pole at S is going to be equals to minus 1 divided by beta into gamma, with the 0 located to to the left of the pole and a negative real axis. This is what a graph you will be getting. This is about a lag network where the capacitor is connected across the R2. And this is how a graph you'll be getting of a gain and also over the phase. Then gamma is going to be, in this case, it is R2 of C, where beta is going to be R1 plus R2 divided by R2, which is greater than 1. The sinusoidal transfer function for the lead compensator, it's going to be given as Jc of j omega is going to be equals to 1 plus j omega gamma divided by 1 plus j beta omega gamma, where beta is greater than 1. Since our beta is greater than 1, the network output is going to be lagging the sinusoidal input, what we are going to give under the steady state. And so the name is called as a lag compensator. In the compensator, the gain is going on decreasing with respect to time. In the previous case, it is increasing with respect to frequency, but in our lag, it is going to be decreasing with respect to the frequency. Then equation what we taken in the previous is evident that the compensator provides a phase lag between the output and also to the input, and the frequency here it is given by pi of omega is going to be equals to tan inverse of omega gamma minus tan inverse of beta omega gamma. This is about the lag network. In a lead lag, it's going to be where it is in both cases, where I can increase or decrease, but in a limited fashion. That is about in a lead lag compensators. If the sinusoidal input signal is applied to the lead lag compensator, the steady state output will have both phase lead and also about the phase lag with respect to the input. Then that compensator we call as a lead lag compensator. The phase lag occurs in a lower frequency region and phase lead in the higher frequency region. If we use lead lag compensator, it will be improving the transient response and also about the steady state response. The example of lead lag compensator or lag lead compensator is going to be used as in the applications of band pass filter and also about the band stop filters. The both transient and also about the steady state response require a implement a lag lead compensator is going to be required. This is basically a lag and a lead compensator connected in series way. In lead lag compensator, the advantages of both compensators are going to be introduced, what we learned in both the cases. Then the transfer function of the compensator is going to be given as J of S is going to be S plus 1 divided by gamma 1, S plus 1 divided by gamma 2 for the lead compensation and also for the lag. For both we have to consider here. Then 1 plus 1 divided by beta gamma 1, S plus 1 divided by alpha gamma 2. This is for lag and this is for the lead compensator, where our beta is greater than 1 and alpha is less than 1. The S-plane representation of a lag compensator, it's at 2 zeros. Here it is going to be considering, where S is going to be equals to minus 1 divided by gamma 1, and at 1 minus 1, S is equal to minus 1 divided by gamma 2 here. This is actually 2 here. Then the poles are, this numerator will be given the zeros and denominator will be given the poles. So your poles are going to be, S is going to be equals to, S is equal to minus 1 divided by beta gamma 1 and minus 1 beta gamma 2. This is how we'll be getting out. And this is how a construction of a lag lead compensator, where it is having R1, R2, C1, C2. And this is about a gain margin, how you'll be getting, and about it, this is the phase of a lead lag or lag lead network. Here the equation are going to be, for gamma 1 is going to be equals to R1 C1, for gamma 2 is going to be equals to R2 into C2. And then R1, R2, C1, C2 is going to be equals to alpha into beta, gamma 1 into gamma 2. Then 1 plus 1 divided by R1 C1 plus 1 divided by R2 C1 plus 1 divided by R2 C2, that's going to be equals to 1 divided by beta gamma 1 plus 1 divided by beta gamma 2. From equation 8 and 11, that is alpha, beta, if it is going to be equals to 1, Then the sinusoidal transfer function of the lag lead compensator is going to be given by GC of j omega is going to be equals to 1 plus j omega gamma 1 divided by 1 plus j beta gamma omega gamma 1 into 1 divided by 1 plus j omega gamma 2 divided by 1 plus j alpha omega gamma 2. This is what the equation you will be getting. From this equation, it's a proof that it is having the phase lag and also phase lead in between the output and also with the input. I take frequency here, it is going to be, it is consisting of all. Therefore, pi of omega is going to be equals to tan inverse of omega gamma 1 minus tan inverse of beta omega gamma 2 plus tan inverse of omega gamma 1 minus tan inverse of alpha omega gamma 2. This is what the equation you will be getting out. This is about what you mean by a lead, lag, and also lag lead compensators. Next, how we are going to be starting with our experiment. The procedure will follow with the steps. The first, we have to switch on the main supply of the unit, then observe the sine wave signal by varying the frequency and also of the amplitude by using of the potentiometer. Then now make the networks connection depending on which one you are going to be doing of that, whether you are going for leading, lagging, or lag lead networks. Connect with that respective network. Then note down the peak detector input using of the digital voltmeter, what is given for us. Then now meter will show what is the value of V peak value you'll be getting. Then set the amplitude of the sine wave to some values. So say example of 3 volts of peak. Then now vary the frequency and note down the vary the frequency and note down the frequency, phase angle difference, and also about the output voltage of different frequencies, and enter the readings by using in your tabular column. Now after this, after taking the readings, calculate the theoretical values of the phase angle difference and also about the gain. Compare with this the measured values what you already taken. Then plot the graph of your phase angle versus a frequency, then about a gain and with the frequency, and repeat the same experiment with the different values of R and C, and repeat the same of different value of the sine wave. Amplitude you have to change. Then you can go with the different compensator networks of going with the same procedure one by one. After this is your lead compensation network, where the formulas here given. Phase angle is going to tan inverse of 1 divided by omega CR R else RC. The gain is going to be V out to V in j omega CR divided by 1 plus j omega CR. Then V out to V in is going to be R divided by Z, where Z is nothing but a square root of R square plus 1 divided by omega C, that's whole square. The tabular column, what it is consisting of, we have to note down what is the input voltage in the starting step only. Then go on taking the different readings and note on the frequency, the phase angle, what is the output voltage, and then calculate the gain value, that is V out to V in. This procedure has to be followed the same. The equations will be different when we go to different compensation networks. The tabular column will remain same for different network condition. You should note down all the values and then go on verifying the what you got the result, and with the theoretical way what is it had done. Practically and theoretically you have to compare and you have to come with one conclusion. What is the difference? How much the difference is going to be? This is about a lead, lag, and also about a lag lead compensators.